Welcome to the Council of Moms. I'm your host, Lisa Valentine Clark. The Council of Moms is a safe place for moms to come to talk, share, and laugh. Maybe cry a little bit. That's okay. We don't want you to cry, but if you do, it's okay because this, again, is a safe place. We are all making it up as we go, and we know that in our communities, we need connection, we need each other, and we need each other's ideas and love and support in order to do all the things that we have to do in motherhood, which I have noted is everything. For those counting at home.
Math.
Yeah, you guys, I crunched the numbers. I did the math. And we've been asked to do everything. So all hands on deck. Welcome to the Council of Moms. We're here to help. We're offering, solutions and suggestions, not just giving you more things to do. So it's a real public service that we're doing right now. And we're glad that you're here. I'm the mom of 5. I love my kids so much. Sometimes if I stop to think about it, I cry because they're so interesting and funny and kind, and I love them. And I still want to tell them what to do, and they still will just do what they want to do. But that's okay. That's where I am on my mothering journey. It's a lot to unpack, but thank goodness I'm not alone. I have 3 other amazing moms. I'll let them introduce themselves.
I'm Amy Hackworth. I'm a mom to 3 sons, 2 young adults, and an 11-year-old. And here's my summary of motherhood. I just thought of this when you were saying how much you love your kids. I recently sent a text to my older sons, how much I love. It's a group text. We're all there, our family thread. How much I love them, how cool I think they are, such interesting, good people. Heartfelt text. And my son writes back, "Thanks, Dad."
How dare you? How dare. Wow. If that doesn't sum up the motherhood experience, I don't know what does.
Classic, right?
Classic.
Yeah, that's it.
Cool story, bro. Oh my gosh.
Amy, I feel you. I'm Erika Price. I am a mother of 5 boys. And the other week, we asked our kids, okay, let me say, it was not the royal week. It was me. I asked my kids. I'm like, what are the most important lessons you remember me teaching you? Because I have 3 out of the house now. And they sat there and they just looked dumbfounded for a little while. And then they were like, well, we remember that Dad used to say this. And I'm like, son of a gun. I know that he's been trying to teach you all these things.
Again.
And they remember that Dad said this.
Dare you? Yeah. You won't say it to your kids because you want to preserve the relationship, but I will say it on your behalf. How dare you? How dare you?
I know. Yeah, so thanks, Dad. Thanks, Dad.
Council of Moms, where dads get all the credit, but moms get it here.
Yes.
And last but not least, yeah.
My name is Ruth Aguirre. I have 3 wonderful girls. The caboose is a little boy who has my heart. My daughters might not be hearing this podcast, so I can say that. Admit it on open air. But I'll tell you what, a solution to both of those things is having to go away for more than a couple of days, and the kids start to realize the absence of mom in all aspects of their life.
I like it.
So
yes.
take a little break.
Maybe
Your
then
kids
they'll
will
remember
appreciate
something
you.
I taught them.
Yeah.
Right. Then they'll be sorry.
Exactly.
Just kidding, kids. We love you. The Council of Moms, because you could ask the internet, but it won't laugh with you like we do or cry.
Or cry.
The internet has never cried with me. Council of Moms, because a dirty Diet Coke can only get you so far.
As she drinks her Diet Coke.
And as always, Council of Moms, made with real moms. And we have real moms here and a real question. I'm going to dive in. Hi, moms. It's becoming obvious to me that other people particularly within our extended family, have expectations about the way my kids behave. These kids are very kind and would never disrespect anyone, but I think they just don't know some of the unwritten rules. I definitely sense that my relatives expect me to be the one who re-educates them, though, since they bring it up to me and not to them. Family expectations aside, I do want my kids to be confident and socially graceful in lots of different situations. What etiquette should we be teaching our kids? And is self-awareness even a thing you can teach?
That last sentence is so good.
I know. There's a lot in there, isn't there? Wow.
That's the big question. I wish I knew.
Are we
If you
all
could teach
self-aware?
self-awareness.
First of all, yeah.
So good.
How would you help this
Oh my
mom
gosh.
out?
Oh, this is tough, I think, because we don't want to, it depends, I think, on what the expectations are. Are the expectations reasonable? Do they bring things up where, and maybe that's a little bit in the question, like, well, family expectations aside, I do
Oh,
want my
yeah.
kids to have, a sense of etiquette and politeness. I mean, I think it's not necessarily reasonable to say we have to bend to every family expectation, but are they skills or abilities that this mom sees her kids might need or might benefit them? I mean, I'm all about etiquette. I don't know. Maybe I would backtrack that just a little bit. I want my kids to be polite.
Good manners
That's
help
really important to
everybody
me.
feel
Yes.
confident. I think
Yes.
we can start off with something of like, when grandma and grandpa talk to you, look them in the eye.
Yes.
When they give you a gift, say thank you. Like
Yes.
we can, it goes from that, but then it could also go as far as like, when you receive a birthday present or a card, do you send a thank you note or something? Some families do that, some don't,
Yeah.
or like remembering other people's birthdays or anniversaries, or like phone etiquette or text etiquette. Like then it can get, I think, really like you can get in very granular about that. What is your overall philosophy, or how would you like direct someone who's like, I don't know?
I think you start with your non-negotiables.
Okay.
Because I think there are some elements of etiquette that might be a little more negotiable, depending on how tightly wound families are. But non-negotiables. And for our family, and I know these can totally differ for others, but one of them is to always say thank you. Like I have tried to drill into my kids that you say thank you to the crossing guard when you cross. You say thank you to your teacher before you leave the classroom every day. Thank you for the lesson. You say thank you before you finish a meal. You say thank you to the Costco sample person. And let me tell you, it pays off. My kid came back from the Costco sample counter one day with like hands full. And it was like a good sample. It wasn't like seaweed or oat milk. It was like chocolate truffles. And I was horrified. I was like, oh, you're only supposed to take one. What have you done? And they said, Mom, I was the only person that has said thank you to them all day, and that they were so proud of me. They gave me all these chocolates.
Oh.
So I'm like, the blessings of saying thank you. But I just think saying thank you in every aspect is a non-negotiable for us. And it actually makes them appear better. I mean, I love my kids, but it makes them look better than they are. Really, truly, just that basic skill. I think another etiquette thing that is a non-negotiable for us is you stay and help. So whether the stay and help is dinner and you clean up the dishes, if it's putting away the chairs at an event, you stay and help. That's just what our family does. And so I'm trying to think. There was another one I wanted to say.
like
but
that.
anyway, I think those are the two that I'm like, if nothing else, you will learn how to do this.
I love that.
I agree, Erica. For us, it's kind of, I see it in that same way, but framed kind of like, what are our values as a family? What do we truly value, right? And gratitude for us is huge, huge. I see gratitude as that. It really encompasses and changes the way that we perceive things, that we feel in our body, how we think about things. And so whenever there's opportunity for our family, for our children to say thank you or please, in that essence of, wow, I appreciate this. I'm so grateful for this. we hope that those moments can just continually add to the value that we have as a family of appreciation, of gratitude, of living in Thanksgiving, not
Yeah.
just during the month of November, right? But throughout their whole lives. And we also teach them as well the value of gratitude and how that really helps us connect with other people in a different way. Right? People are more willing to help you out, are more willing to lend a hand, are more willing to listen to you, whatever it is, because you are showing that sense of gratitude.
Ruth, I
in a
really
simple
like
thing.
that because you're attaching the family value and the positive into the why, and then they can fill in the etiquette of like, does this show gratitude? Does this show gratitude?
Right.
I think that's a really great way to do that. Like I have this saying like, oh, the Clarks, we always show up. Like we show up. Like, so if somebody invites us to something like a family event or, if we can't go, we send a text or a note or like we just want to show up for people when they're asking. And so that why I think could affect a lot of people because I know that like in my own family or my own extended family, when I say, hey, it's good to see you, I've literally had family members who just like pretend like they don't see me or don't acknowledge it. And it's very hurtful and confusing. And I always think, well, I don't want my kids to do that. Well, and I don't like, here's the thing. And I know what the pushback is like, I'm shy, I'm introverted. Maybe I'm on a neurodivergent spectrum or things like that. And I understand and I account for, differences in people. But I do think that attaching it to a value of, like we show up or we show gratitude, or it can be expressed in many different ways, and teaching our kids of how to adjust to how they can, I think, especially in a family, can be welcomed no matter, even if it's just, it feels little, but it's just that underlying why I think helps as they
There's a
become
kind
adults.
of an appreciation of people in that underlying why. Like we value people.
Yes.
And so we value the crossing guard. We value the teacher. We value everyone that we come in contact with. That's a really beautiful.
We value kindness.
That's the underlying.
Yeah. Generosity to people. Oh, I love that. You could say it so many different ways. I don't, do you think that there is though sort of a list? Because like in this question, I think it's so fascinating where it's just like, what etiquette should we be teaching? Like, are there some things that we have sort of lost generationally?
I have an
that we
example
could bring
from
back.
last night.
Oh, good. What?
Phone etiquette.
Yes.
I was like, why is my 14-year-old a Neanderthal on the telephone? How did this happen?
Because how many times does he talk on the phone? Though, but like, let's be real.
He
like,
doesn't.
Not
I'm
as many times as I've talked on the phone.
Right.
Yeah.
We grew up picking up the phone and being told,
Hello, Valentine
Price
residence. How may I help you? One moment, please. I'll go get her for you. Just a second. Gee, that's the phone for you. And then you call and you're like, she'll be there in one moment. My kids don't know how to do that. They think this is a bit, but I've done it a million times.
No, I think our generations were raised to be time life operators. And we have not given that to our children. And so yesterday, my son called me. He was done with basketball practice. He wanted to know how close I was. He's all, I literally pick up the phone. Hey, and he goes, where are you?
Yeah.
Yes.
And I'm like, excuse me?
Take a step back, son.
Yes.
Yes. And I think we are starting to use texting etiquette as our verbal etiquette, meaning
Yes.
like in a text you can say, Mom, where are you? But you would never say that verbally, Anyway, so that is something that I was like, oh, we are talking about this. And I told him last night, you start with a greeting and you sound like you are happy to talk to the person you are talking to.
Yes.
Like that is the bare minimum you
Talk
can
with
do.
a smile is something
Talk
that
with
I
a
say.
smile. Unbelievable.
I've had the exact same experience, Erika. I'm actually really glad to hear you say that because I was like, what are you doing? Can I have money?
Yeah.
Excuse me? What? Hi, Mom. Hi, Mom.
I know.
is how
I
that
model
starts.
it back. I go, "Hi, Mom. How are you? How was your day?" Oh, wait for response. Wait for response. Encouraging
true.
next statement. Encouraging
Yeah.
next statement. Comment about the
Then you
weather.
make your ask.
Hey, could I talk about something? Make your request. End with
It's
express
funny.
gratitude, express love and gratefulness. End.
Yeah.
And they're like, got it. It's like a form
I've never
letter.
thought about it though as like when we grew up, we didn't know who was on the other phone,
No.
on the other end, right? And now I know my kids calling. I see their name. They know they're calling me. This is a direct line. Maybe that's part of it. I'm not saying it's okay.
No, but I think that
maybe
we
that's part
have
of where they're coming
lost
from.
we want to get to the point. We want to be efficient. And I think sometimes we have used efficiency and time saving techniques and have gotten rid of the human interaction of, hi, how are you? How are you doing? And that's some of the reasons why people hate phone calls too, by the way.
Yes.
Sure.
They
Sure.
just want to get in,
Yeah.
get out. And
But Lisa,
but
I
that's
really
what life's
liked what you
about.
said though about like this is the like you were saying this is the script, and I
Yes.
think it's okay to give our kids a script.
I do too.
Sure.
I remember my sister-in-law telling me that she said, when you first got married and we would bring our children to your home, I would have to give them this pep talk before they went into your home because I knew that they would want to eat everything on your counters and you usually didn't prepare a lot of food. And so, I mean, it was like this weird conversation. But what I took away from that is pep talks and giving our
Yes.
kids the script
Yeah.
is totally okay. And so
Yeah.
we now do you think your kids are going to internalize the manners because you told them once. They will not.
They won't,
So
yeah.
I feel like having that little threshold conversation where you're in the car, you're heading to grandma's so-and-so, you're going to say, okay, this is what we're going to do.
Yeah.
This is what we're not going to do.
This is how this is going
And-
to go.
Yes, this is how this is going to go, and this is the script. And actually, while that sounds, it's coming out of my mouth and sounding a bit controlling, I do believe that actually it's a little empowering for the kids because then they know the game, right? They're like,
Because
okay,
they don't know
here's
what
the
to
game
say.
book.
They've never,
the playbook,
they've never
yeah.
done it before and they don't practice, then how do they know? I'm reminded of when we were little kids, my family of origin, the Valentines, my mom and dad would always say, now remember, before we went anywhere, like to church, to a friend's house, anywhere, the store, GM. And GM meant good manners. And we as kids were like greased monkeys. Like we would come up with all the things that GM might mean. And they were like, stop it.
Case in
But we
point.
knew, case in point, like, we were like, oh. But GM was that shorthand for this is how we act, this is what we do, this is what we don't do. You know, my dad, bless his heart, may have done it in the wrong way, but it was effective. So this is the wrong way, but the effective way. Is that he would just complain about other people's kids or things. He'd be like,
For sure.
I hate it when so-and-so's kids do this and that. Not my kids. Like, if you guys ever acted like that, like he would point out bad behavior and be like,
Yeah.
don't do that, you know, like in public. Like, don't dress like that in public. Don't talk like that in public. Don't da-da-da-da-da-da. And not like to be a fake, but just of like, it makes everyone around you uncomfortable. Like it, and it doesn't really serve you and how you're trying to, you know, go whatever you're trying to go out in the world and do. And kind of like you were saying, Erika, too, it like he traveled a lot. And so he'd be like, you know, if you dress up, if you are kind to the people behind the counter and ask about them and you're not just so self-interested and you talk to people, like good things happen and come to you too. And he would tell us stories about that and tell us also cautionary tales. And I think that is all part of giving a script,
Right.
you know?
Right.
Yeah.
One of the things that guides kind of our what etiquette, you know, way of navigating our family is also telling our kids, hey, we want to be invited back.
Oh, yeah,
And so
that's their
they-
why.
and that's the why.
Yeah.
Right.
good.
To places that matter. And just we have to we have to take some time to step into their shoes, kind of what you were saying, Lisa, right? That they really haven't had the experience. They haven't had opportunity to learn how to do that naturally. It isn't happening amongst their friends group. It isn't happening necessarily often at school. We have to be the ones to really, help them understand, and sometimes that role play, right? What that script looks like. I mean, I don't want or expect my children to be like perfect robots, when we
Right,
go out to
right.
places, so that they can be just the most absolute perfect children. But I do hope that they can have opportunities to practice by our role modeling kind of what that looks like. So sometimes we'll do even role plays, at our house.
Mhm.
If the phone is not in the space, they feel lost. Like, well, what do I do then?
Yeah.
It's like, you have conversations. What does that look like, right? And so we'll just role play. Well, you can ask this, you can ask that.
Oh,
What
and
other
I
things?
love that because I think some kids don't know. Like, I remember when one of my kids came to me and was like, I want to make friends, but I don't know how. Like,
Mm.
how do you just talk? Like, I remember she said, I want to be friends with this group and I don't know what to say or how to do. And so role playing or saying, hey, this is a scenario and you could say this, or you could, you know, point out this, or this is good manners and it does it. And because her whole point was, is I don't want to insert myself. And I think that in
Mm.
social situations, kids don't know how to do it. And this is where, if you're one of those moms that doesn't care if you're cool or not, and if you embarrass yourself, like this is where us kind of moms shine, because you're like, let me tell you some ways not to do it and some ways to do it, and let me act it out for you. This is where like being an actor is a really great plus for mom. And you can
I
just pretend in
love
your
it.
home and you can, be silly, and you can see your kid can laugh at you and say, "Oh, that's the worst case scenario. I could do better than that. At least I won't be like this lady." And you can be that for them, though. It's so great. It's freeing.
And that there's flexibility, because in our culture
Yeah.
too, it's very we I grew up that you say hi to everyone and there's a kiss on the cheek to everyone, even if you
Ah.
don't know them.
I
That's how I
love
grew up.
that.
That was a sign of etiquette. I do like that. It does kind of bridge the
Not
gap
everyone
sometimes
likes to be
between
kissed upon
connection.
meeting. I have found that out. Rude, but
Well, and not
okay.
everyone is comfortable with doing it as well, right? And when I look at my kids who are kind of
Sure.
growing up biculturally, all the
Mm-hmm.
things, it's also realizing for moms, like, etiquette is flexible. There's not just one way that it needs to look like. We
Okay.
can achieve being kind.
This is a
If
good
one of
point.
my children, yeah, with one of my children, for me, it's important that they say hello, thank you, whatever, but it doesn't always have to be a kiss on the cheek if they're uncomfortable with it. Right. And so
Yeah.
there is flexibility in being able to meet the behavior without it looking exactly like how we grew up or how generations did it, kind of thing.
This is a really good point. I just visited the South for the first time, and I'm all about it. I'm super into the South culture. I am a fan because everyone has really good manners. Everyone.
Yeah.
And like opening up doors. Yes, ma'am. How are you, ma'am? How's your day? Like, just like, I didn't think that I'm not, I'm in the West, and I'm not usually called like ma'am or hi
Man.
or like miss or whatever.
Mhm.
And so being addressed like that, or making small talk, like, I'm all for it. I love that. And I realize, like you're saying, Ruth, not everybody is, but being able to adapt, or at least having your kids or teaching your kids to be aware of the differences, I think is like implicit in this question of like, the extended family has some expectations, and maybe they have a different cultural expectation than
Yeah.
how you're raising your family, and being able to just draw your kids' attention to it, I think is a big deal, of just saying, you may not
Yeah.
think this is rude, but here's how your grandma and grandpa, like, I remember a very specific story
Mm.
when my kids were little and my mom and dad came over to the house and they said, "Hi, kids." And they were so excited to see my kids. And my kids were like playing video games or something. And they're like, meh, and they didn't address it. And I could see that like my mom and dad, who have very good manners, didn't make a big deal about it, but I was like, not my children. And then later I said, do you realize how rude that is? Like, here's the new family rule. Grandma and Grandpa drive all the way from their house just to see you because they're so excited. When they come to the door, you stop whatever you're doing. You come up and you say hello to their faces. You don't go, like, how would you feel? And I kind of flipped the script and they were like, oh, and to their credit, they were like, they didn't think about it. They were mortified. They were like, they feel so comfortable with their grandma and grandpa. They were like, oh yeah, hey, because they love them and it's not a big deal to see them, but it's not reflective of how they felt. So just pointing it out without, I was like, let's just have the family rule. Whenever they come, you get up wherever you go and you come and greet them face to face.
So that's such a good example of teaching self-awareness. So maybe you can teach self-awareness.
Maybe.
That's a great example of saying, oh, I'm going to help you see something that you didn't see before. And now you realize that situation. I was also thinking about the power of role modeling. And I don't know if you guys had this happen where maybe you're certain kids have certain natural abilities, right?
Sure.
I think some kids, it just is easier for them and more challenging for other kids. So we've had the experience of having a child who was pretty reserved and, the guy who's going to just call me, no greeting on the phone, he's just going to launch into what he needs, show up so respectfully in a situation where it was required of him or appropriate for him. You know what I mean? We hear these things about him from work colleagues about how respectful, how polite, how helpful he is. And I think that does sink into for certain kids who might not model it at home necessarily, but I think there's a lot of power in what they see, the way they see their parents and other adults they respect treat people. They are learning it.
I want to pull back the curtain a little bit and validate what Amy just said because we are friends in real life and I know which kid you're talking about. And I have watched him grow up.
Yeah.
And I have the extreme pleasure of having him come to my home a lot or seeing him out in the wild, like at concerts and things like that. And he has such good manners. And when he sees me and greets me, it will make me cry. He is modeling that and he is completely self-aware. And I love him and he's one of my favorite people. And you have done a fabulous job of that.
Well,
Curtain
you have been a
closed.
model for him too, right? You have been part of the village that has taught him that we do that when we see people. We greet people. We love them. That's so sweet to hear. Thank you.
I love that. It just speaks to the power of a village, right? We're not in this alone. Our friends can also be helpers in, facilitating opportunities, reflecting back, all those. I love that. Thanks for sharing,
I love
guys.
that. Okay, final thought. What do you think is the biggest takeaway that you haven't had a chance to say that you want to? Let's start with Ruth, then Amy and Erika.
I think for me, again, do what matters to you, what you value. It's going to look different for everyone. I think we've talked about some of the things that we all generally agree with, and feel connected to. So I think there's some general things, but also it looks so different. And so look at what you value and do what works for your family.
My takeaway is really from what Ruth said. I've been really focused on this is what we do, but not the why. So that's going to be new for us. I really want to talk about why we do this. What a great opportunity to bring in our family values, which is for me sort of a conceptual, but I've struggled to know how do we make it concrete for our family. And I think this is going to be a great starting place for us. So I'm really excited about why we treat people well.
Yeah. I heard a phrase recently that I have loved. I think that I want to be one of our guiding whys, and that is you can walk in a room and say, here I am, or do you walk in a room and say, there you are? Oh, and that we want to be the type of people that see other people. And there are a lot of different ways to do that, but one of the things that I think is really important is to start with the age group that's a little bit less comfortable, and that is with adults. And so I realize that my husband and I will sometimes slip into like ordering for our children, or we'll slip into,
Oh, yes.
oh, you have this thing, I'll ask your teacher. And I think I'm taking away that opportunity for them to have that connection with adults. And so that's one thing that I want to do. And then I would encourage other people to do, because I really think it's a skill that will bless children's lives the rest of their life, is to have confidence in front of adults, is to let them have those little micro opportunities to interact with adults, but then also always have that guiding principle of, this isn't about me. This is about acknowledging others. Oh, there you are. And I see you.
Oh, I love that. And I think part of my why, and the thing that I want to really reinforce with my kids and myself, is that listening to someone and giving them your full attention is a great act of love. It's a really great way to show love in an increasingly distracted world. Giving someone your full attention and listening is a great gift that you can give to the people that matter to you. And I think other etiquette falls under that sort of idea. Thank you for listening to the Council of Moms. As always, we can continue this discussion, and we hope you do in the comments. If you're listening, you can watch us on YouTube, and you can listen to the Council of Moms anywhere you get your podcast. If you like this, please subscribe to it. Support us by subscribing and sharing. You can send this episode or others to a mom or someone who's not a mom, who just think this is good information to listen to, and send us your questions. You can DM us on Instagram. We read every question. So, tell us what you've got. We are here for you. The Council of Moms is a production of BYU. And as always, the Council of Moms is made with real moms. Thanks.